Welcome everybody to the VooPlayer Q&A weekly webinar session. We're going to get started here in just one moment. But before we do, if anybody can confirm that both audio and video connections are working as expected, then we can get started. Thank you very much. We got a confirmation from William. I'll take that as sufficient confirmation. So introduction first, my name is Peter. I am VooPlayer's product manager, and we're holding these sessions in order to answer any questions that you as users may have, also to provide any training on advanced features or use cases of video in your business, also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as well as to gather, organize, prioritize any feedback, ideas, criticisms, constructive suggestions on how we can keep improving VooPlayer and how we can continue to add more value to you guys through our product. So with that in mind, the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. So at any time that you have a question, you're more than welcome to just drop it in this chat box, and we'll start answering them in the order that they come in. As mentioned, this is a weekly webinar, so if you are, for whatever reason, unable to attend any of these webinars, weekly replays are available both on our YouTube channel, link to which I just pasted in the chat box, as well as on our Facebook group, link to which I also just pasted in the chat box. And if you haven't subscribed to or joined that group, I do encourage you to do so, as that enables you to always stay up to date with everything VooPlayer related, and always be able to participate with all of the other VooPlayer users in the discussions that help us define our product, as well as how it can contribute value to you. One more thing that I want to mention, but let me just quickly change something on my computer so I'm not in the staging environment. One more thing that I wanted to mention is that if at any time throughout your use of VooPlayer you have a suggestion or an idea that you would like to share with us, or a feature request, a good resource to do that is here in the application. You can always click on the documentation and support, and from there select submit and vote on ideas, which will take you to our product portal. And there you can see stuff that we're currently working on, stuff that's under consideration, different requests from your fellow VooPlayer users who have added ideas onto here, which we've deemed worth attention. And then other users are contributing by voting on those ideas, and that really helps us validate the prioritization of this for our roadmap. So you can always refer to this as sort of stuff that other VooPlayer users is also finding useful. You might get some ideas of your own, or you might think their ideas are great and you just want to contribute to them by voting for them. So you can also see what's recently launched, and most importantly, as I said, you can come over here on the top right corner and click on submit a new idea, and from there you can describe what's important for you and how important it is to you, which will help us organize your feedback immensely. Additionally, if you just want to have a conversation around what you're doing with video and what VooPlayer can do to help you with that, we are available via live chat. You can just select the live chat option over here at the bottom right of our application. And additionally, if you want to submit a detailed ticket, you may always contact us at support@vooplayer.com for basically a more detailed bug report, or an issue which you want to discuss, or a use case which you think might be more elaborative need to cover. So that's a few things that I wanted to mention. I did have just one quick announcement. I think somebody on one of the previous webinars did have a request for this, and it made a lot of sense to us. So we just naturally added it. So within the custom HTML overlays, and these are the overlays which, as I've mentioned, you can use for embedding anything that you would embed on your website. We did add the ability to add personalization tags within the custom HTML overlays. So you can insert personalization values, which you can later on customize or rather personalize using either your CRM integrations or using the query string parameters from the URL of either the video page or the page on which the player is embedded. So that's just something that I wanted to share as an update that's been recently added. Rick is asking, are there any updates with regards to Thrive themes? No, not yet. I don't think. We can take a look at their Thrive Architect. What was that called? Changelog, I think. We were in daily discussions with the the Thrive Themes development team while they were needing the integration. I followed up more than a week ago just to see how their integration with WooPlayer is going, and I haven't heard back from them. So I'll press on learning if there's an update available, and when will WooPlayer be integrated. William is asking, can I see a demo of the HTML overlay? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So let me just delete one and just start from scratch. Why don't we do that? So as with any overlay you selected by coming over to interactions and then selecting overlays and annotations, and you, in the selection for the custom HTML overlay, you have a choice between a full screen custom template and a box custom template, which is basically something that allows you a little more positioning within the video on where you would like your custom HTML snippet to appear. So for example, this video is a little bit, but I'll place it over here in the middle so it might be a little bit more visible. So here, if I was just saying something like hello world, you can see that being typed out in the middle of the screen there. So what the HTML overlay itself, of course, is good at is at embedding HTML content. So if you have any sort of a thing that needs to, so you want to see, I just read the other part of the comment, you would like to see it worked as a personalized. So all right, so I embed you, I'll take it you understand the concept of the HTML overlay and how it works, and I'll just show you how the personalization of it works. So here, I'll just recreate that same thing. And here I will say something along the lines of, let me actually, my keyboard. All right, well, this is just going to be plain text, just demonstrating the personalization of it. So I'll just say hello, and I'll say, instead of, I'll just say person's name, and as a fallback value, I can have Mr. or Mrs. or a friend. Let's just be gender neutral. Hello, friend. And we'll just keep it at that. So I'll save it and save it. And we can go to watch it. So at this time, I'm going to just take this and make it its own so we can so it can be a little bit more visible. Let me just see if I activated that overlay. Yeah, so it's going to show up from the beginning of the video until second 5. So you can see it. Maybe I can get a better frame where we can see it. So maybe at around second 2, somewhere like that. You can see this read, hello, friend. So the tag for personalization which I entered was, I believe, person name. So person name, yeah. So one way to provide the data for the personalization is to do so via via query strings. So I think I actually did that already on this video. I think this is the video which I was using for testing. So here I can say as the person name value, I can use William, for example. So now when the video loads and if this feature is enabled, we'll see that hello friend got replaced with hello William. Now you can go into, unnecessary to talk about this, but you can go into a lot of details with adding style to this and making this larger and so on and so on. But the basic component of the personalization is in that you can either provide, as I mentioned, query string parameters, or you can have your CRM integrations connected. I think I have, this might be a good demo for somebody who's not all that familiar with personalization. And granted that there are no other questions, I'll just roll with this. I'm just trying to figure out which of these CRM integrations would be. I don't know what the new AC, that's new active campaign. I don't want to use that. Zapier test, I don't want to use that either. New AC. Analytics, ConvertFox, Woopla. Let me see, just see if this returns anything. What I'm doing here is I just select the integration, and I don't know which integrations I have connected. So I'm just seeing if this integration returns any data for me with a sample contact. So yeah, I can see that this integration, in fact, does return a lot of content. I'm just trying to figure out what this integration is, as far as which provider this is coming from. But let's say it doesn't matter. I can just grab the name value for it. So one way to do it is via the, as I mentioned, query string parameters, but you can additionally use the tags that are provided from your CRM. So here now, I'll delete this and create something new. So I'll say, welcome to the video. And now I'm going to have the integrations. Oops, sorry, misclicked there. Now I'm going to have the integrations from the, and you can see the sample values populated here already from my sample contact from the CRM. And I'll just grab that name value. And the fallback will be, again, friend. So I'll just save that and save that and save that. So now when we come back to the video and watch it, this person name is not going to do anything because I deleted that. So let me just refresh once more. So that just says welcome to the video, friend. But if I include the string and I think personalized, and then I need equal sign because it's not working on my keyboard. So let me just grab that. Personalized for gmail.com, I believe. Now I think that's gonna give me the personalized results for that custom HTML overlay. And yes, as you can see, now it says, welcome to the video, Peter Sabotic. So it took the contact value, which I provided, and you can provide that either directly on the video or on your embed page, and then contact the CRM, which I had selected as integration here in the personalized data feature. Use the keys provided by that to match that that name value needs to be replaced with whatever was returned for that contact via the CRM, and that's how we ended up with this personalized content. And this has always been working. in Vue Player, or at least for a year or so. This has been working on all other overlay template types. So this was working on things which look a little bit more prettier. So for example, this was working on, I don't know, I'll just take this, I'll take the image link template. So this was working on all of the templates which are a bit more appealing. So on basically this was working on any overlay template aside from the custom HTML overlays, and now we've added support for them as well. Let's see. Clark Cotton is saying masking YouTube is not working. Also, can you go over the volume options on all videos? Even when autoplay is off, the volume is required to be turned on videos. So if you're having issues, Clark, with YouTube videos, masking YouTube videos not working, I do encourage you to contact support as I think mentioned many times before. We don't necessarily look at bugs on this webinar call. We do that over our support channels. But I'll definitely go over the volume options on videos. So there's a few things to mention. So when autoplay is turned on, so that's a good point, and there's a good article on this, the video will always be muted, and the viewer will be required to turn on the volume manually. Autoplay muted. So let me just share that article in case anybody's interested into more details around that. So if the autoplay is on, then in that case you will need to turn it on. As far as the volume goes, there is also side notes on, there is the ability to, if I can find it, there's the ability for volume control from within the player settings. So you can come over here to volume control, and you can say, I want, when my video starts, I want it to be at 50% of volume. You also have that ability to control. And additionally, if your video, the source video itself, such as this video, which actually I'm currently using, has no audio channel, like the video file literally has no background music or any voice over it. In that case, you have the ability to, and I believe this is in beta features, if you click over here and show beta features, you have the ability to hide the unmute button altogether. So those are some of the volume options which are available within the video. Let's see. William is saying, do you think this best works by activating the fallback code in Vue Player? Do you think this best works by activating the fallback code in Vue Player? I'm not sure what that's in reference to, William. Maybe you can clarify. Clark is providing an example where YouTube is creating some code to block the blockers, like Joule does not work at all. Complete block. YouTube does not want us to block. It's when you turn it back off that it does not work. I'm not following that. Maybe there can be more elaborative explanation on what's YouTube blocking. Yes, did that, but it's not working. Just letting you know. Please comment on YouTube creating code to block us. Who's? I'm a bit confused. I'm not sure who is YouTube blocking. William is saying, going back to publishing personalized HTML overlay. Oh, with personalized HTML overlay, it really doesn't matter which type of an embed you're using. If you're using a beta optimized embed or a non-beta optimized embed or a pop-up embed or a fallback code embed, it's going to work either way with any of those. Well, actually, sorry. Good point, William. Sorry. If you are using a fallback embed code, in that case, personalized features, I'm inclined to say, will not work at all, I believe. So with the Wool Player fallback code, I think personalized features are not working, because what the fallback code is, it eliminates the script element of the embed code, and the script element is the one who is communicating between your page and the iframe embed. So that's what's needed for that communication, and the fallback code eliminates that, because some environments deem the external third-party script to be unsafe and hence block it. So in some instances, you're forced to use that fallback code. Actually, let me share an article on that as well, in case somebody is curious. Fallback. So here's an article on the fallback embed code and why it is there and what considerations you should make when using it. So do review that, William. Yeah, the fallback code is not going to work with personalized data. I'm 99.9% sure about that. But I'm 100% sure it's not going to work. So if you're forced to use the fallback code, then you can't leverage the personalized features. Excuse me. So Clark Cotton is elaborating on competitor Jewel Bool is out of business because YouTube and Google are creating code to block. All video companies creating masking options. Google in onto those companies. Thank you for the beta feature to turn it off on mute. All video companies masking options. So Google, YouTube and Google are creating code to block. All video companies creating masking options. Yeah, I mean, we've been familiar with this for a while now. So what YouTube is doing, and I guess in essence Google, for anybody interested in this, it's a pretty cool way in which they do it is, so YouTube has an algorithm which detects if unusual amount of traffic and unusual unusual type of traffic is coming to their servers from your location. So for example, if YouTube sees that a specific IP, such as the Wool Player server, is hitting up their resources 1,000 times a second, and it's doing it almost in an automatic type fashion, they're able to recognize that's not a real user who's going to be watching their videos with ads, and hence they decide to block that traffic to that particular user. It's always been like this. Maybe they've recently, I guess, increased the amount of blocking that they're doing. But cool part about Wool Player is that we're not affected by this in a way that other companies might be, primarily because we're not using one IP. We're using thousands and thousands of IPs, which we cycle through. So, I mean, if you're more interested on this, you can Google got blocked by YouTube, and that's going to give you tons of account blocked. Now this is for people, server blocked by YouTube. And you'll be introduced to a lot of proxy services. Issue DNS IP blocked on YouTube, how to unblock YouTube unblocking. So there's a lot of I don't want to say which solution we're using at this time, at least, but there's a lot of proxy servers out there which you can hit, and they can list out thousands and thousands of IPs which Google or YouTube have now blocked, and in that way you can kind of go around that. So in case that anybody's interested, that's how it's done at WooPlayer. Clark Cotton is asking about Black Friday discounts for subscription licenses. That is very likely, if not sure, to happen. Same as last year, I believe, running it on a 40% discount of listed prices on the enterprise and startup licenses towards the end of the year. I can't guarantee that it's going to be a Black Friday deal, maybe Cyber Monday, Black Friday, something around there. So hopefully something like that will definitely happen. Also, Google is deep checking privacy policy and terms and conditions for items that are not part of the rules for video. Good to know. Great. I have confirmed that WooPlayer is the only solution still working. All right, cool. Glad we could address and elaborate on those concerns, Clark. Cool. William is asking, do throw in sub accounts in the deal? You mean throw the sub accounts as part of, like, free sub accounts as part of the deal, or I loaded the question there. This discounts on subs. Yeah, I think a lot of people might be actually interested on that. So I'll definitely talk with management with regards to maybe providing a discounted sub account deal on at the promotion. Let me make sure to make a note of that. That's a really good idea. We do have a lot of people who buy those sub account licenses, and a lot of people who think that they're too expensive. So I think including them in a promotion at a locked-in discounted rate might definitely be something that's a idea worth exploring. I just made a note of that. Thank you. White label sub accounts are amazing. Comment from Clark Cotton as well. Thank you for saying that, Clark. Alrighty, cool. Do we have any other questions, ideas, comments, suggestions on improving WooPlayer? Rick is hoping you offer the sub account deal to existing enterprise accounts. Duly noted, Rick. Let me just make a note of that while I have William's note open. So let's contribute Rick's feedback to that as well. 20 sub accounts for 50 a month is what we need. We'll definitely discount. This is just a brand new idea, so I have no ability to comment on the feasibility and what the pricing would be like. But I'll definitely discuss this with the management team and then get back to you guys sometime before the promotion is ran, so you can prepare in advance. All right, cool. If there are no further questions, I just want to thank everybody who joined this week, and thank you for continuing to contribute great ideas to improving WooPlayer, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And until then, I wish you a happy remainder of this week. Bye.